I have always loved getting people out on a gravel road and letting them see the farm life firsthand, whether it's in the field at our full-time farming jobs or here at home on our own little cattle ranch. So now I'll bring the camera along and you sit back and ask the questions. Let's explore this Midwestern farming and ranching lifestyle together. This is your channel. This is Dodge Brothers Farm and Ranch.
Hello there, YouTube. How you doing? Today we're out chisel plowing. Finally, we're out in the field. It's dry enough to get this fall tillage done in the spring. We got completely frozen out last fall, if you remember. We were chiseling 24 hours a day, taking shifts through the night, and it just froze up on us. We couldn't go anymore. As you can see behind me, it's working really good. We've got some dust flying. It's leveling nicely. We're not making a bunch of clods, which is what you really worry about in the spring. If you make a bunch of giant wet clods and then it turns dry, you can't break those clods up and you don't have a good seed bed to plant into. So we're lucky to be able to have this window of opportunity to do a pretty good job finishing our fall tillage in the spring. Well, this morning we had a lot of fun. We got to make a giant man-made wildfire. One of the fields just outside of town has what's called a pollinator habitat on the corner of it. Now this is a type of conservation program, and it's designed to help bees and butterflies and stuff thrive. And every few years you're supposed to burn it off to really help it along, and this was the year we were supposed to do that. And today the wind was just perfect. So we went over there with this cool little torch that drops the fire right along the ground as you're walking along. And we lit that baby on fire. We had the water tank in the back of the gator and a leaf blower to kind of help control the edges of the fire. It went really well. I can't imagine how scary it must be in a wide open prairie with a fire come roaring across there. That has to be terrible. Well, that's a wrap on spring chiseling 2019. The next thing we got to do is unhook this chisel plow and hook on to the VT, which is our spring tillage tool. It's another Landall implement. You'll get to see a lot more of that in the next couple weeks. It shouldn't take much to get that ready to go. We just put a brand new rolling basket on the back of it last spring and new blades on the front row last spring. So it should be just a grease job for that thing. Check the tire pressures and it should be ready to rock and roll. And it's time to run out and check our cow that has not had a calf yet. We've got one that we're still waiting on. See how she's doing and see if she's made any progress. Well, not yet. Maybe tomorrow. You know what really bugs me? Field rocks. You've got to protect the equipment, so you've got to get them out of the field. Every year we pick these rocks up, and every year, again, it seems like there they are, right back in the same spots. Sometimes even worse than they were the year before. Now, we all know it's not the same rocks, but my point remains, nobody likes to pick up field rock. But there is one piece of equipment that we've got around here that makes it a lot easier to deal with this unsavory task. So come along with me and I'll show you a little bit about this magical piece of equipment. This is about the awesomest way to pick up rocks that there is. When you're picking up rocks with a gator or jumping out of a skid loader or something, the hardest part of rock picking is actually picking up the rock. But when you're picking up rocks with one of these, really the hardest part of picking rocks is finding them. And once you found them, it's super easy to get them picked up really quick. Now it does have a 3-position multi-function electric hydraulic control right over here, and that is how you are able to only have 2 hydraulic remotes on the tractor but still perform 4 separate functions. You have to be able to spin the reel to pick up the rock and lower and raise the basket, and you have to be able to raise and lower the dump box and swing in and swing out the entire machine. So the way that works is with these switches right here. If the blue one is down, then that is in raise and lower the basket mode. If the white one is down, then that is in dump the basket mode. And if the red one is down, then that's in swing in and swing out the machine mode. So pretty sweet setup. Really, we've picked up a lot of rocks with it with a little effort. It's an amazing piece of equipment. It used to be that you had to put together a giant crew of strapping young high school boys to go out and throw rocks onto a wagon. But if you have one of these, one guy can go out in a field and pick rocks by himself and get a lot done. Now obviously there's still a benefit to running a gator around and picking up rocks by hand. For some of the smaller ones, you get into some of those spots where you just got to get out of the tractor and chuck them into the rock picker anyway. But it is quite a machine, to say the least. Guys, I really can't say it enough. I so appreciate all of your support. Thank you so much for watching the videos, for liking and commenting and subscribing to the channel. I just am in disbelief at how this silly little project has just exploded into what it is now. Last time I looked, there was over 4,200 subscribers. The last video that I posted had 24,000 some views already. I can't believe it. I just thank you guys so much. I enjoy interacting with you guys in the comment section, so feel free if you have any questions or thoughts, drop a comment to me and I'll respond to you as quick as I can. Sometimes during the really busy times, I get a little behind and a little bogged down in responding, but I promise I'll do my best to respond to everybody. So I'm excited because next week, if the weatherman knows what he's talking about, we are going to be doing some tillage and getting that planter rolling. So I'm excited to show you what we've done to the planter to get it ready this year and what we're going to be trying out on one half of the planter to see if we want to do it next year. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.